Hey everyone, Performance Masts. Well, there's been a lot of talk about masts lately, and that's a great thing because masts are a key component in your system. We've had these out about a year, and we thought we'd do a recap because there are a lot of detail that go into the design process for any vertical. What were our goals when we were developing the Performance Mast? Really, it's quite simple. It comes down to the most fun ride that we could achieve. And you've got to balance ventilation, stiffness, drag, and a whole bunch of other factors. So it's really a balancing act. You can't just go completely in one direction and have something that you may think is incredibly stiff, because then it might be too thick. It might have too much cord and you can't turn it. So you've got to balance what you want to do with the foil. You want to turn, you want to carve, you want it to feel good in the water, you want it to have enough rigidity so when you push hard, you're feeling the feedback from the foil. So we think we struck a really nice balance with the Performance Mast, and it's always a trade-off, one factor to another. Probably the most important feature is the section development, and the team that worked on that, they are amazing. Some of the top foil section developers in the world. They developed the X-Foil software for looking at foil section design, and they come up with some sections for us: 865, 13.3 mil thick at the bottom, and a really nice cord that just allows you to push this mast around. So yep, it has taper. It's quite an aggressive taper, but it's a gradual aggressive taper that just makes a lot of sense to us. The sections fit nicer together. It's a very fair shape. We've got a more streamlined bottom bracket, and all around, these masts just feel amazing to ride, which is the goal. What sets the way we develop our masts apart? We do a lot of prototyping and testing in our own facility, and we torture tested over 100 different layups with these masts. We made a whole bunch of different shapes, and we came up with something that we really like the feel of. It has intermediate modulus at the top for durability, the high mod wrapping around the bottom bracket, and that just gives it that pop and ping. It has a little bit of flex so that when you're leaning into your turns, it pops you back out of the turn. And we really like the feel of that. So it's a combination of a lot of factors, but the testing in the lab is critical, and then we get all of the prototypes to the team riders. They test them, we get their feedback, and we feed that all back in and go, okay, this one was the ultra stiff one, someone liked that one more than the other one. Here's one that's got a bit more torsional rigidity, but a bit more flex. So there's all sorts of different parameters. The way you lay up the fibers, you can get more torsional rigidity, but you'll reduce your straight stiffness. So there's always a compromise, and it's that testing process that's critical. We load test them, we torsional test them, we brake test them, and we do that regularly throughout production. So we test a lot of products to destruction, and that's just what you have to do. So what is the mix of material and construction techniques used in these masts? Well, it does all start with the materials, and we've done a deep dive into the analysis of our material supply, especially once the resin systems have been applied to the fiber. The fibers are pretty consistent globally, but the resin systems have a massive variation and also shelf life. So you need to know the temperature ranges and time frames of every batch of fiber you're using, and we track that from the time it's been impregnated now with the resin. So the consistency of production is next level. Different style of riders, they prefer a different feel, and it's getting the best all-around combination. Now, some guys, if they're surf foiling, prefer a bit more flex. They like pop in and out of their bottom turns. Other guys, if you're heavier, you're winging, you want a bit more straight line speed, you want something longer and a bit more rigid. So balancing the stiffness. Now stiffness, it's not just one thing. There's torsional stiffness, there's bending stiffness, there's a few different ways in how that relates with the fiber orientation. So the more 0 degrees you have top to bottom unis, you're going to have a stiffer mast, but you're going to have more torsion. So to control your torsion, you need some fibers on angles. You know, we use 0s, 15s, 30s and 45s, and a combination of those that we believe is the right combination for most people in most riding conditions. And that's really the secret sauce in this mast, is the range of angles, the range of speed, and how it feels. It doesn't ventilate, it doesn't drop you out, it's very forgiving, it's very predictable, which allows you to just push your ride and not worry about your kit, focus on your ride. Ultimately, it's very simple. The Performance Mast gives you a smoother, cleaner ride to maximize your fun on the water, and that's what it's all about. We love foiling. We want you to go out there, have the best time you can, get out there and do it.